talking about under 50 bucks, 60 bucks, we can make one of these. And we kind of have these kind of scattered everywhere. Some of them are portable, some of them are not. But this one obviously is permanent. Well, here's something a lot of folks won't show you. This nanny was laying on a hill, and instead of putting her head uphill, she had her head facing downhill. And when she went to get up after napping or sleeping for the night, she couldn't get up. All right, so we're about to let the nannies out on this pasture over here. It makes a big L. There's some wheat coming up, especially in the front pastures. It's not so much back here, but we spent yesterday getting it all fenced in some areas, and we're gonna let them out, and they're gonna kid in this little, I don't know, probably about 15 acres altogether. So here is our cheap dog jump gate. All it is a couple T-posts, some cow panel. We do have some 4x4 panel. It would work better here. We had this leftover chicken wire that we put on the panel. That way we can use some cheaper stuff instead of using the more expensive stuff. I'm gonna get some wood, and then what I do is I put wood right here on these edges so that dogs don't get cut. I just haven't done it yet. I just put this together yesterday. We'll get a drill bit, drill little holes in the wood, and then just use some wire to wire it too. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 T-posts. Probably overkill. You could probably make it work with 4, but we plan for this to be pretty permanent, and we know goats and stuff are going to rub on it, and over time the panel might bend in or out, or if 2 dogs get in there, we're planning to put another feeder in here too. We made it big enough for 2, that way dogs don't fight. But if there is a little throwdown, they got room to move around and get away from one another, and or not bash the sides and bend them in or out. So that's why I did the overkill on the dang T-post. But overall, you probably could make this work with 1.5 16-foot panels, or if you wanted to make it smaller, you could make it work with 16-foot or one 16-foot cow panel. You know, 25 bucks, and then, you know, 4 T-posts. You know, talking about under 50 bucks, 60 bucks, we can make one of these. And we kind of have these kind of scattered everywhere. Some of them are portable, some of them are not. But this one obviously is permanent. So yeah, I have this one, and then we have another one over there that is portable. Yeah, that was the first one we did. All the goats are hanging out. But yeah, I'll get a little round, or a little walk around a little bit so you guys can see if you guys want to try and make one or make one better. But quick, easy, cheap, and it works.
The BGG gang. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't mind Rosie's yoke. That's just so she doesn't slip under this hot fence and she realizes it's hot. But here's the goats. They're coming in. Round and proud. Very pregnant girls. Now they're leaving. So we have feeders here just for our maintenance feeding schedule kind of deal. So just every now and then we'll bring them a little something just to keep them broke to coming to us. Otherwise, rotational grazing will not work as easy. Of course, you could probably get it done with a dog, but we feed them a little bit every so often. I can't really afford to feed them constantly. I mean, that's a great thing for people that can do it, have a hookup, or don't have the numbers. That makes it to where it's, you know, several $100 a month to feed them every single day, or, you know, certain days of the week. But, you know, they're out here to keep, when we do feed them, to keep it off the ground, so less worms and things. But we have enough feeders to, you know, spread a little out lightly, just so everyone can have a little taste, and that keeps bringing them back to us. But right now, all this grass, they really don't care. That's why they didn't even get very close to me. They don't really care what I may or may not have to offer, because they're busy eating grass and eating all the little weeds that are coming up, and the wind is kicking up again. I'm so tired.
Well, here's something a lot of folks won't show you. This nanny was laying on a hill, and instead of putting her head uphill, she had her head facing downhill. And when she went to get up after napping or sleeping for the night, she couldn't get up. It was one of those hotter days. It was cold real one day, and then the very next day it was like 85, 90 degrees. And then the temperature changed again. So she just had kind of a heat stroke.
Yeah, she got stuck in the sun for several hours before I found her, and brought her in this little lean-to we have, and poured cold water on her, and got her really, tried to bring her temp down, but not too fast. I put cold water on her, like, bag area, her butt area, her horns especially, because their horns will regulate their temperature, and her horns were on fire. And so I kept putting water on there and just kept offering cold water to her. Finally, she drank some. And, you know, this is several days down the line, and she may not make it. But I have her in here. I need to get her some fresh hay. But she'll kind of scoot around, and then she'll get stuck on her side sometimes, so I sit her up. But so far, she looks more hydrated than she did. And she's trying, so we're giving her a shot, and if she makes it, great. And if she doesn't, then, I mean, we did everything we could to kind of save her, just because it's a freak deal. You know, what kind of goat gets stuck on its side on a hill? You know, goats they're very smart, but they're also sometimes very dumb. And, you know, I'm glad I found her, so she didn't just bake alive. But we'll see what happens. So that's about it with her. It's just day by day, and see if she's alive the next morning.
Yeah, so we're just trying to save her. Hopefully she makes it, but just something to share.
And she is an older nanny. That's another thing that's kind of catching her here. She's a bit older. She's a right black tag, so that makes her
probably about 8 or 9.
8 years old, you know, pushing further up there. And so it's harder for her to bounce back, and she still has some strength in her legs. She'll kind of halfway stand up and hold it for a minute or two, but I haven't stressed her or anything like that. I just rotate her hips in which way she's laying, and so that way she doesn't get any sores. But hopefully here soon she'll actually be able to stand, even if it's for short times, even if I have to help her up, because we can do a couple of days of assisted standing for her if she's gonna make it. But so far so good. Most goats would have died by now, so she definitely has some fight to her. And I mean, this way she's out of the wind and the weather and has the best chance.
Yeah, so it's not always rainbows and sunshine when it comes to raising livestock or goats or sheep or whatever you're raising. I mean, there's some nasty, ugly parts. There's death. There's always death involved. So yeah, hopefully this one makes it. So here's a example of where it came up real thick. We do plan on redoing these pins. We're going to take all these portable panels and cow panels down. We're going to stretch some vents, set some poles. I'm going to do one over here and then one over here on this side.
But we've never really spread seed in there. That's just from the goats pooping out seeds.
Yes.
Because we've never once took the tractor in there or tossed seed out or anything. That's just from the goats. And when they're getting worked, how much they poop and everything.
So here are the pastures that we got them in. They got this whole front here coming up real nice and thick. We did get a little rain. We wanted to give it another week or so, but we did have one nanny kid yesterday. She's probably about a week early, but the twins are doing fine, so we went ahead and just moved them all up. I don't know if you guys can see them all over there. They're coming down from where we just let them out. But there's a big pasture here. There's a pasture over here, and then there's a pasture up there. We went ahead and fenced in this front area before.
One of our driveways.
Yeah, this is one of the driveways that goes up to the house. Every year I end up having to shred it or mow it a couple times, probably about 8 or 9 times. But this year we went ahead and fenced it in with this paneling, and we're gonna let the goats take care of it this year. So yeah, they got plenty to eat. It's about 2-3 inches tall mostly, and then in some areas it's taller. It came up real thick this year. This is one of the first years we actually saw some good growth in these pastures. We took a bulldozer to it and it skid steer a couple times, burned a bunch of brush piles. It's finally coming together and looking good, so we'll be excited to plant something there in here come late spring, get some warm season stuff in there, and hopefully have some good pasture for weaning before we start rotating the goats through all the properties with our electric fence. One of the dogs is coming down here to check us out. Who is that?
This is the girl gang. Like this, we're only missing one girl dog, and that's because she fights.
These
really
two,
well.
that's Mama, actually, Beth, and then Allie.
Daughter. And who's coming up is Rosie. She's the white dog is born, bred, and raised here. She's a Pyrenees Anatolian cross. Kicking your microphone. We love our turkeys.
Tyler doesn't let me shoot them.
No, they're off the market. They're beautiful. Look at them. Look how fun they are.
2 days ago, we saw about 100 of them.
Yeah.
On the back fence line. But yeah, so a little overpopulated, but not allowed to shoot them for whatever reason.
Because look at him, they're so fun. Look how big he is. He's so handsome. He doesn't want to die. He wants to make babies. Say bye, turkeys. Okay, so look at my turkeys. There's so many. Oh, there's, I think, hens. And then the big old boy in the back. He's so fancy. He's got a good little harem.
There's about 22 hens there, and then him.
He said, I'm so fancy. I have all the women.
Oh, he's gonna fan out.
He is. The trees kind of screwed me up, but he's talking. Oh. A little more. Just right there. Oh God, bless. Look at him. He says hi. Oh wait, they have beards too.